Hey guys, what is up? Pixels here. In today's video we are doing another class breakdown for Evil Dead the game, and today we're looking at the Hunter class. There is 4 characters in the Hunter class. We have Evil Dead 2 Ash, we have Ed, we have Kelly, and we have Amanda. The Hunters are actually really good. I enjoy playing them quite a lot. The only problem is looking for ammo. Ammo can be quite scarce in this game. Even if you do find enough ammo, you'd be surprised at how fast your ammo actually drains during combat and stuff like that, when it's very hectic and there's a lot of deadites to kill. Your ammo does drain quite a lot, which can be the downside of actually playing a hunter. But hunters have their benefits, not just only for ranged, but like mobility and stuff like that's really good. But anyways, let's jump in. So the first thing before we start is obviously the little synopsis that they do for hunters, and it basically says hunters inflict more ranged weapon damage, can carry more ammo, and have slower stamina consumption. So that's really good. The slower stamina consumption is what I was on about for mobility. Hunters are very fast and very agile type of thing. They're quick at dodging and moving, and obviously keeping their distance to do the range attacks. Like I said, the problem is with the doing range damage and stuff. If you're using something like a pistol, you can carry like 60 bullets for the pistol. And I said the pixel there. You can carry like 60 bullets for the pistol. And so obviously when you're in a combat, you're going to be unloading a lot of ammo into a lot of deadites. So they're really good for taking down bosses. I've noticed, evil Ash. A lot of the time I'll walk up to him when I have like a shotgun or something, and I'll just just unload bullets into his head when he's doing like a special move or something. But anyways, let's begin. So the first character we have on the Hunter category is Evil Dead 2 Ash. Now, Evil Dead 2 Ash is really fun to play. He's based around the double barrel shotgun, which is pretty awesome. But anyways, his first perk is called Exorcist. And activating this ability exorcises the demon from any possessed survivor or basic unit. If used on a possessed elite or boss unit, the ability drains some infernal energy from the demon, which is pretty cool. The infernal energy reduction is 15%, and it has a 60-second cooldown. So I did use this a few times when one of my teammates got possessed, which was pretty good. Teammates get possessed quite often on this game, so having this guy in the squad is pretty good for that. I mean, when someone gets possessed, usually what the demon will do is try and unload their ammo, get rid of most of their ammo so they can't use their ranged weapon, which I've noticed that's been quite a strategy for the demon to do. But like I said, it's a decent perk to have in your team. It definitely brings a good balance, or like a good ability to the squad. Then the infernal energy reduction is 15%, which is pretty decent as well. But when the demon is defending like the page or the dagger, they automatically regen infernal energy quite a lot, or they gain a lot more. So in hectic fights it's not really that great, but it's still a decent perk. Alright, so his second perk is Treasure Hunter, and you can see supply crates through walls at close range. So at close walls that's pretty good. Usually you can hear the supply crates, sometimes you can't find them, but when you're playing this game, it kind of plays mind tricks on you. You're like, oh, can I hear a supply crate nearby? Because the music's playing, you're fighting and stuff, and sometimes you feel like you can hear it but you can't see it, and you're looking around for quite a while. So this is actually really beneficial for the team as well. Obviously supply crates obviously give better weapons, and they also drop pink fuck on the ground, which is used to level up your character during the game. So again, that's a decent perk to have. Alright, so his third perk that you unlock at level 10 is I'm the guy with a double barrel. And you start the match with a double barrel shotgun. Again, it's a pretty decent one. Usually I've noticed, if you use like a weapon at the start of the game, like a ranged weapon, it's quite loud and the demon gets notified where you are. Someone is being loud, and it'll sort of hint at where they're at. So at the start of the game, I tend not to use my ranged weapons as much as I can. Getting in a car as well notifies where you are with the demon as well. So at the early game, it's always best to stay on foot and be quiet with melee attacks. While you're hunting down for the pieces of the map. So because you don't want to be found first. That's kind of, if you're going to solo, you don't want to be found first by the demon. So yeah. Alright, so at level 25, we have Weapon Master Double Barrel. The Double Barrel has faster attack speed, deals increased health, balance bar, and dismemberment damage. I never got this far with Evil Dead 2 Ash, but again, it's a pretty decent one, and you can spec into range on this character with the pink fuck while you're playing, and obviously have faster reload speed and stuff like that. So for the Weapon Master, for the Double Barrel, I was hoping it would have like a base reload speed reduction. I think that would have been nice instead of it doing like increased attack speed, which I think is kind of weird because you can shoot pretty fast then anyways. So, you know, being able to reload faster, I think would have been a better thing to put on this type of perk. But anyways, you know, it's a decent one. Like I said, like this guy is spec'd around the double barrel shotgun. They're not hard to find on the map. I've had legendary ones, I've had purple ones and stuff like that. So yeah, they're pretty decent. It's a decent perk. It does a lot of damage as well. So yeah, that's basically what this guy's spec'd around. Obviously possessing and finding pink fuck for people, and obviously doing the damage with the double barrel shotgun. Alright, second on the hunter category is probably the worst character in the game, I think. I've seen some tier lists and people actually put this guy in the good category. I'm not sure why, because like what he's spec'd around is really shit, but Ed really sucks in this game. I played him a few times. I was like, man, this guy's kit needs buffed massively. Obviously you need this type of character in the game, so like his first perk is called It's a Trap. And when activated, this ability grants use of a unique flashlight that allows you to detect and temporarily disarm demon traps. And it does this for 40 seconds, so it has a 40-second duration, and it has a 60-second cooldown. So the demon will lay out traps on the map. They'll put them in crates. They'll set them up on trees. You know, they can put down their own portals that'll spawn deadites as traps. They can set the traps with the portals that are automatically already set on the map as well. So, you know, for disarming them, I think it's a pretty decent one, but at the same time, it's like, it's not needed, if I'm honest. Like, most of the time, you'll probably just want to set off the trap for the demon just to kill some deadites in anyways. Obviously, that increases your fear level. Every time you set off a trap, it increases your fear level and stuff. But like I said, you know, you kind of need this guy in the game, but at the same time, it's not great because like his perks get worse as they go on as well. So his second perk that you start off with is Enduring Light, and it increases the battery life of your flashlight by 100%. Now, again, I don't see any use in this because most of the time I'll always like manage my flashlight battery. So, you know, when I'm running inside of houses, I'll turn my flashlight battery on. I'll gather whatever hidden items that the flashlight can find, and usually that's like ammo, amulets, and, you know, sometimes it can be blue weapons and purple weapons, which I've noticed can happen quite a lot. The purple weapons don't spawn that frequently, but you do tend to find like blue double barrels, you know, blue boomsticks and stuff like that. So again, this isn't really needed, especially if you're smart with your flashlight. You remember to turn it off once you go outside, because most of the time you won't find that much stuff hidden outside while you're fighting and stuff like that. So again, I usually just turn this on when I'm inside of a house to find the hidden items. At level 10 that you unlock, this is where this guy gets really bad. So Weapon Master Crossbow. The crossbow has a faster attack speed, deals increased health, balance bar, and dismemberment damage. The crossbow sucks in this game. Like, it literally is a one-shot weapon. Like, it doesn't, I don't know if it one-shots the deadites. I've landed a few hits on them. Like, I found a purple and a legendary crossbow before, and I hit them with it, and it didn't really do as much damage as, like, another weapon. So, you know, to me, having a character spec'd around a crossbow is really, really bad in this game. Like, there was so many other weapons this guy could have been spec'd around, but why they went for a crossbow, I have absolutely no idea. They could have spec'd them around, like, you know, like the hunting rifle. I think the hunting rifle would have been a good idea for this guy, but yeah, spec'd them around the crossbow is just not good at all. And at level 25, he gets a perk called the Collector, and it increases the chance that defeated enemies will drop items, also improves the chance of finding crates of higher rarity. It's not a bad perk. It's a bit like a Plunderer's Instinct type of thing, if you're familiar with that on Dead by Daylight. But basically, you know, if you find a crate, then anything you open up, it'll like obviously drop something higher, which is pretty decent. But like I said, it's not needed. Like, to me, you wouldn't need this guy in your team to do well at all. And for me, that's why I put him in the low end of like a tier list. And we'll do a Survivor tier list, by the way, after this video, so you guys can check that out. And obviously we're going to move on to the next hunter. So like I said, Ed's not that great, but we're now moving on to the best hunter in my opinion in the hunter category, which is Kelly. Kelly is absolutely insane, by the way, especially if you manage to level her up and max out her stamina. Like, she's so fast, and like she has the ability to literally dodge without using her stamina. So like that, we'll get onto that. So her first perk is called Slip Shot. When activated, you dodge without using stamina, and your ranged attacks cause bleeding damage to your target for a short period of time. and the range bleeding damage as bleed, sorry, is 20%. Duration is 5 seconds and a 60-second cooldown. So if you dodge and quickly shoot them, you give them the bleed damage, which is 20%. So it'll drain a little bit of their health over time. So she has like a little, damage over time type of effect, which is great. I really like that she has like the infinite dodge for 5 seconds. A lot of people were like saying, "Oh, she's really broken." She's not. She's good, but she ain't broken like Army of Darkness Ash. People are saying, "Oh, she's pretty much invincible for like 10 seconds." Like, well, not really, because it only has a duration of 5 seconds, and a lot of the time when you're doing them dodging, like sometimes, I mean, it might have just been because I was playing on a hotspot, but I was still getting hit from quite a distance. But at the same time, it's like, well, I think it's a good ability, and it has obviously the bleed damage. So activating this ability obviously causes the 20% drain of health over time, which I think is pretty good. But she's not broken, but I think she's like a really good hunter. I think, well, like I said, I think she's the best hunter in the game. I really like her other perks as well. So her second perk is Weapon Master Meat Hammer. So if you're not familiar with the show, obviously she beats the shit out of a Deadite in like a diner with a meat hammer, which is really funny. But you can find like legendary meat hammers around the map, and the meat hammer actually hits quite well. Like I used it on Army of Darkness Ash quite a lot as well. I think it's good because this is the reason why I like Kelly, is because most of the hunters are spec'd around range a lot, whereas Kelly, she's like, she can sustain herself in melee combat as well, and we'll get into her other perks for that as well. But obviously she has the faster attack speed, that obviously, for the meat hammer. So the meat hammer has faster attack speed, deals increased health, balance bar, and dismemberment damage. And I think it's a really good perk, obviously, to start the game off with as well, because the meat hammer isn't hard to find. You can find one, especially if you're playing Kelly. You're like, oh, okay, I've got a meat hammer, I've got a good ranged weapon. You're pretty much set, and like I said, it's not hard to find like at least a blue meat hammer on the game. So I think it's a really good perk. So at level 10, we're going to move on to Counter Shot. So I never really got a chance to use Counter Shot, but your next range attack after a successful dodge inflicts bleeding damage on your target for a short period of time, and weapon damage per second is 5%. So obviously, if you do hit a good dodge and it's a successful one, it'll inflict bleeding damage on your target for a short time. It's 5%. It's not a whole bunch, but again, I think it might be a little bit noticeable in certain combat situations. And at level 25, which is her last perk that you unlock, is Battle Frenzy, and this is the one I really like. So especially if you're using the meat hammer, so your melee damage increases the longer you are sustained in combat, and extra damage per second is 2%. So like I said, she kind of has like the hybrid between warrior and range, which is really nice. And having that extra, like, her stamina is absolutely insane. So every time I gained, like, collected a bottle of pink fuck or whatever, I spec that straight into stamina because I wanted to max her stamina out as much as possible. And basically, like, you never need a car when you're playing as Kelly because she can just sprint everywhere. Like, she's just so quick. And at the same time, obviously, in like the hunter skill tree, you can spec into having more stamina as well, which is great, and like reducing the cost of stamina for dodging and things like that. So again, I really think Kelly is the best hunter to play as in this game. She's really good. Of course, like the other three hunters are decent, like they have their own abilities, but at the same time, it's like, if you're going to play hunter, you should probably play Kelly because she's really good. All right, so we're moving on to the fourth and last character on the hunter category, and definitely not the least character because she's really good. So we are on Amanda now, and Amanda was really good to play as in the beta. I had a lot of fun playing as her. I played a lot of games as her. I really like her first ability that you start off with. So it's called Ammo for Days, and when activated, this ability allows you to temporarily fire your ranged weapons without expending any ammunition whatsoever. So even if you don't have any ammo, you can use this ability and you'll be able to, shoot the deadites and the demon and whatever. But, it only has a 7-second duration, but it has a 90-second cooldown. So the cooldown's quite a lot, but it is obviously a really good ability. So, I feel like it's kind of balanced where it is right now. But, if you find like a really good weapon to do this with, like a legendary ranged weapon, it can be really, really OP, especially against the boss. If they spawn like Evil Ash, Henrietta, or Elagos. Elagos, as far as I remember, I think I remember reading something about him being either vulnerable or like a bit invulnerable to ranged weapons because he goes invisible when you're attacking. So, hitting him with a ranged weapon doesn't really do much compared to, against Evil Ash or Henriette. I think that's what I read. Even that he was more vulnerable to ranged weapons, which I think in terms of the lore from the show, Ash kills Elagos obviously with his boomstick. So I think if they wanted to be like a bit lore accurate with that, they would be like, he's more vulnerable to ranged weapons. I honestly can't remember where I read it. It might have been in like the little synopsis for Elagos, but again, like I said, I think it's a really good a good perk to have. Her second perk that you start off with is Trusty Sidearm, and you start the match with a pistol. So, comparing this to Evil Dead 2 Ash, obviously he doesn't get that ability to start with his weapon until level 10, but with Amanda, she has it at base level, which is really good. I've heard that apparently you're not going to be able to unlock or play as all the characters at launch. Apparently you have to unlock them through playing the single player side missions, which I think is really cool. You have to play through the single player side missions to be able, to play as Amanda or something like that. Either that or there's even more characters in the game than we've already seen in the beta. There might be actually more characters already in the game as well, which I think is going to be really cool. I can't wait to see what they actually have at launch, but yeah, it's a decent perk. Obviously starting the match with a pistol. I mean, you can kind of find a pistol at the start of the game, not too hard, to be honest, and you can find probably a blue one or a purple one as well. So, they're not hard to find, but it's still a nice perk. If you're in a you're struggling to find a weapon, then it's good to have that type of thing to fall onto. At level 10, we have Weapon Master Pistol. The pistol has faster attack speed, deals increased health, balance bar, and dismemberment damage. Again, based around a ranged weapon, I'd like to see it have faster reload speed, but you can spec into faster reload speed in the range category with the pink foot. Sadly, on the skill tree, I couldn't see anything about faster reload speed, but that could be added possibly at launch, which I think would be good for range. Like, it would make sense, right? Their range characters are based around range weapons, so why do they not have a faster reload speed category? But yeah, it's a decent perk, and at level 25, which is her last perk that you unlock, is called Accuracy Counts. And damage dealt by your ranged weapons increases with each consecutive hit, and the damage per consecutive hit is 2%. So she's really based around range. She's she doesn't really have anything in the melee side of things to really help her out. If you hit deadites with like these types of characters with a melee weapon, they don't do a lot of damage unless you have like a really good weapon. Obviously it is nice that they have a lot of stamina. Obviously she has a lot of stamina as well. Obviously she's good for dodging. She's good for running around, and like I said, every time I play the range category, I always like look at spending my pink fuck in the stamina part of it, and then I'll spend it in the range as well, because I like to buff out the range as much as possible, and obviously buff out the stamina. So it's an alright perk, especially if you can land your hits. Sometimes you'll be fanning the hammer quite a lot into a lot of deadites, and sometimes that's not a really good thing, because if you're gonna miss some hits doing that, it was kind of hard to aim the weapons in the beta because we couldn't have increased sensitivity, but obviously at launch it'll be quite different. I think this will be really good against the bosses, because the bosses are quite a bit slower to move around. Like Evil Ash is a bit slower to move around, Henriette is a bit slower, so obviously this won't do as well against Elagos because he goes invisible. You can't hit him when he's invisible, but yeah, it's a decent one. I kind of like it, but like I said, I think Kelly is still the best hunter in the game. I've seen a lot of people playing Amanda at the start. I think it's because she has a good base kit with the pistol start, and then obviously the infinite ammo thing. So I think some of these perks that they've come up with, they're quite good, but at the same time, you kind of think like maybe they need a little tweak to make them a little bit better for that type of character, or that type of class. So, but anyways, this has been my Hunter class breakdown. I had to get, it's like nearly 20 minutes. It's because we have like 4 characters to go through on this, but like I said, I think it's a decent class. You probably still want to run the game with 2 hunters though. I'm probably going to do like a tips and tricks video like closer to launch, what to expect and how to play the game and that type of thing. Obviously I can't wait to do that video, but I'll let you guys know what the best thing is to do, what's probably like the best chemistry in the team, and what teams like what characters to select that'll have the best chemistry and things like that. But yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed my Hunter class breakdown. I hope it was very informative for you. Leave me a comment down below, let me know who you guys are going to be picking in the Hunter category. to play as. Like I said, I think Kelly's gonna be mine. I already said, like, you know, years, you know, when this game got announced, I was like, yeah. As soon as I seen her in the first trailer, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be maining Kelly. So Kelly's gonna be obviously one of my mains, but I am gonna get around to playing everyone as well. But you know, I think it's a really good one. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that sub button if you are new to the channel for more Evil Dead content. And I have been Pixels, you are my awesome viewers. I'll catch you guys in the next one.